Hey guys, this is Chromo67 or 67 Studios coming at you with another LEGO review. Today we'll be reviewing Green Lantern vs. Sinestro, a new DC Comics superheroes set. It is ages 6 to 12, is set number 76025, and has 174 pieces. So yeah, without further ado, let's get on to the minifigures. Okay, so the first minifigure we have here is the new Space Batman from the LEGO Batman 3 Beyond Gotham video game. And yeah, it's very accurate to the character. And in a minute I'll show you how these wings work, but first thing I'm going to show you is the awesome torso printing. It looks very nice, it's very detailed from the game. Another thing is the head that the minifigure comes with. No face on this side because, well, it's a spacesuit. But LEGO did give us an extra Batman head, so if you want to, you can switch it out. And now you can give Batman his normal Bruce Wayne head. So yeah, it's just your standard Bruce Wayne head with the pretty standard facial expression on one side and the kind of grinning facial expression on the other. And it works very well with the minifigure. The next thing I would like to go over when it comes to Batman is the new cowls that the minifigures have. I myself have not gotten one of the Batman sets with the standard Batman in the new sets, so I haven't gotten the Aquaman set or the, I want to say it's the Gorilla Grodd Attack set. But these new cowls are very nice. They appear to be based off the Ben Affleck cowl from the new movies. As you can see, there's a big difference between these and the old cowls. They look a lot smoother and a lot better in my opinion. A lot of people don't like them, but I think that they honestly look better and they flow very nicely. Sorry if there's any background noise there, guys. So yeah, the next thing I'm going to show you guys is the wing. So here's the back of the minifigure, guys, and as you can see, there's this piece right here connected to this clear back piece that just goes on his neck. And basically what this does is you put this on and then you put the cape over it and then you attach the other piece to the back over the two studs. So before I get into that a little bit more, here is the back printing. It's very nice and very detailed, especially since we can't actually see the back. So here is Batman with his wings out like he's flying, and once again they're very detailed, and it looks very nice on the minifigure. So I'll give you a quick 360 with the wings outstretched so you can get a good look. So yeah guys, that is the spacesuit Batman. I'll give you a quick 360 with the wings in their standard position. And overall, it's a great minifigure. It looks just like the one from the video game. And yeah, that's Space Batman. So the next minifigure we have here is Sinestro of the Yellow Lantern Corps. He's a very awesome minifigure. On his torso, he has the standard muscle design that we see on most superhero and supervillain minifigures. He has a very awesome looking Sinestro Corps logo on his chest and the Sinestro Corps designs. The back printing is very awesome with a lot of great detail. His legs, unfortunately, are a little bit disappointing, seeing as the printing does not wrap around. An example of what I'm talking about, if you don't know what I'm talking about, is the Wonder Woman minifigure where it wraps around her legs. And that would have been very awesome on the Sinestro Corps minifigure, and in my opinion would have made it the peak for a Sinestro minifigure. So his hairpiece is the same hairpiece that we received in the Joker sets a while back. I think it also came on Count Dooku, and it's just molded in black, which is always nice to see. A very neutral looking face for Sinestro, but if you spin the head around, we get a more aggressive looking face, which is always nice. So overall, a very nice minifigure. And I'll give you a quick 360 before we move on to Hal Jordan. So the final minifigure in this set is Green Lantern Hal Jordan. He's a very, very awesome minifigure. The standard Green Lantern design, I suppose you could say. Unfortunately, mine came with some scratches on the Green Lantern logo, and it kind of depressed me a little bit because they're kind of noticeable. I don't know if you can see it on the camera there. You kind of can. Those white marks on the Green Lantern logo. Those were there when I got it. That was kind of disappointing, but you know, what you gonna do? So the legs, same problem that Sinestro has. In the video game, I believe he has wraparound leg printing, but unfortunately the actual minifigure does not sport that, and it would have been very, very nice if it had. White gloves, black arms, and here is Hal Jordan's neutral face. If you flip it around, we can also see a very nicely detailed kind of grinning face for Hal Jordan here. The back has pretty much standard Green Lantern attire. So if we ever see any future Green Lantern minifigures, I assume that they will be sporting a similar design to that of Hal Jordan here. A nice little bit on the belt that continues down from the printing on the torso, which is very, very nice and always welcomed. So yeah, that is your first Hal Jordan minifigure that we can actually get our hands on. So I'll give you a quick 360 and we'll move on to the actual set review. So here's the actual set. Real quick, I wanted to go over something. The Sinestro minifigure also comes with a small yellow transparent weapon. I believe it's from Ninjago, so it's kind of cool to see on Sinestro, even though it wouldn't really ever be realistic. But still, pretty cool nonetheless. And the next thing I want to show is the super jumper that will be coming in all of the DC minifigure, or not DC minifigure, DC Lego sets. So basically, I've got this policeman minifigure on there just so I don't have to, you know, worry about moving everybody else around. So basically what you do is you press down on this and they jump, and as you can see they jump pretty high if you can get enough over him. He actually almost went over the box there. So interesting little play feature. I'm sure kids will get a lot out of them. And yeah, so now into the actual set. So here we have a Green Lantern power battery. Interesting little design. Props to whoever designed this at Lego. Definitely works very, very well for what it is. And so basically I think the whole premise of this set is that you use the super jumper and you hit this target on the top and it opens, and Hal Jordan gets to recover his power battery. One thing I do want to mention before I forget is this Sinestro logo and this Green Lantern logo on the front of his ship are printed, which is very, very nice, and I'm sure a lot of people are going to really enjoy using that in mocks and whatnot. So yeah, that's pretty much it for his little Sinestro trap. So now to the actual main part of this build, and that is the Green Lantern jet. So it's a very, very cool design, straight out of Lego Batman 3, and it definitely works for what it is, and it's a very, very good build. So on the wings here, it has, instead of the whatever they're called, the missiles, if you can see on the box there, we have the guns that we've been getting in the Star Wars battle packs. So if you haven't seen these before, you just press down on the button and it shoots the stud. And they are a pretty cool playability feature for kids. And yeah, so if you look in the cockpit, not a whole lot of detail in here, but definitely works for what it is. And we've got, instead of them out there in the open where you're going to hit them every time you try to pick up the set, we have our spring-loaded shooters, that's what they're called, in the cockpit here. So if you just press down and it shoots, and I have no idea where that went, so I'll have to find that in a minute. And they just shoot out of there. So that's pretty cool that they're kind of hidden away like that instead of just hanging off the back like they are on some of the other Lego sets. So yeah, a lot of pretty good detail. We've got the jet engine back here, and the wings are set up on these hinge pieces right here, so they can go in a diagonal direction. And yeah, it's pretty simple. Not many play features except for the shooters and the flick fire guns, I guess you could call them. So yeah, that's about it for Green Lantern's airplane. I'll show you, or I should say jet. So I'll stick Green Lantern in the cockpit, give you guys a little look at what that looks like. So yeah, you can't really see like that. But yeah, so pretty cool. And I think we're about to conclude this review. So before I conclude this review, I know I just said I would, I'm going to show you guys the box. So very, very nice box art right here. And if you want to pause to look at the details on the back of the box, you can. But, you know, just going over the play features that we just looked at. And yeah, so in a second I'll show you the comic book. So here's the comic book. I'll give you a quick look through it. If there's anything that you want to see, you can just go ahead and pause the video. So some stills from each of the different sets that we are receiving in this winter lineup, which in an ideal world I would be getting them all, but it's not an ideal world. Woo! Very, very cool art for each of the new minifigures. So yeah, that about wraps it up for the comic book. So yeah guys, that about wraps it up for this LEGO DC review. If you enjoyed this review or found it informative, please drop a like and please subscribe. It helps a lot and it makes me keep wanting to make videos for you guys. So yeah, until the next video guys, I'll see you guys later.